Hey guys, okay, so I'm sure that you all remember the story of Carmen Bousada, the woman who forged her application for in vitro fertilization by saying that she was 55 years old when in fact she was 67 years old, and she gave birth to two twin boys from that in vitro, which I believe made her at that time the oldest woman to give birth. Unfortunately, this week she passed away from cancer at the age of 69 years old when her boys were 2 years old. And it's an extremely sad story because regardless of whether or not, it's right that this woman forged those papers and was able to have children that she arguably wasn't fit to have, there's two babies out there without a mom. And this raises the question for a lot of people, is it fair for someone of a certain age to get in vitro? If there's not going to be a parent around to raise the kids, then why would you do that to the children? And I believe it was said at the time, she said, oh no, I have family that will be able to take care of the kids if anything happens to me. But normally people make that kind of decision once they've been with their children for a while. A parent normally doesn't give birth knowing who the guardian would be if they were to pass away. It's a little bit of a sticky situation because it's hard to tell whether or not it's really appropriate for this woman or any woman to have in vitro after a certain age. For me personally, this is just another example of how when you put restrictions on something, it's going to bring up restrictions in other places. So I personally feel like as long as the woman is deemed healthy by her physician, there was a chance, she could have had those babies and live for another 20 years. A lot of people live to 100 these days. And of course, anyone can get cancer, not just old people. So no one was really able to predict her death. But I do think that it should be more of a moral issue. I think it's kind of pretty selfish to have children at such a late point in your life when there is a really solid chance that they will be parentless, So a lot of people are talking about this now because there's two little boys out in the world without a mother who, are a result of science. I would really like to hear what everyone thinks about this. I'm super conflicted because I do believe that you should never tell anyone what to do with their body unless they're incapable of making the decision themselves. But I also feel like this is monstrously selfish and that there's two lives affected by the death of this one. And not to mention, people all over the world who kind of hated this woman for what she did. And there's lots of people that I think probably looked at her as a hero too. So let's talk about that, Zelda Lily commenters. Get in there and let us know what you think because this is a tough issue and I think it's up to the individual to decide how they feel about it. All right, bye.